Well, friend, Shayla did an interview recently with Gigi Brown, and I must say it's quite interesting because I'm not quite certain. I wanted to know more about the Shayla personnel, as in Shayla the actor, well, the actress, because it's an actress at this point in time. I wanted to know more about this, and I felt like this was, I guess, the best interview form that I could see her in. Let's check this out.
I came on the skits on a work break. And so my mom was like, well, now that you're on the skits, you got to go back to work. What are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to bring my computer to set. So I had like two big desktops, girl, heavy ones too. And I just packed it in a suitcase. And when they say, hey, we need you to be on set on Wednesday, I would just pack up my home computer. I work from home and I would just set up on set. And I
So hold on. So hold on. So in other words, she actually was working. So in other words, she's in real life. She basically is a hustler, is what she's saying. In real life, she knows how to do everything. And when I say hustler, I mean that she's actually going out to get it. That's what I mean in this term. I don't mean like the other things when people talk about hustler. That's actually quite commendable. If that's what it is that she's been doing, like outside while being on set, that's actually pretty smart. I'll say that much. You know what? I don't mind. All right, cool. All right, Sheila. Okay.
Wayne, like, hey, I still got to work. Is this cool? And he's like, yeah, set up downstairs. So I took those computers everywhere. And, I'm just grinding. Like, I'm not letting anything stop me. My mom was like, how are you going to do it? I was like, I'm just going to.
But now we ain't doing it.
Listen.
Now all we doing is the skit.
So I thought I was really like grinding. I didn't realize, Wayne is noticing this and he's like, you always got this big suitcase, you lugging around. Like I was tired of seeing that suitcase, so I need to give you a bigger role. That's what he said. But I don't know. I think it was God. It had to be Jesus to be like, hey, you didn't plan this for your life. This is what I have for you.
Yeah.
And it really did work out. So I remember Wayne had a storyline, and I don't know, people don't know about Country Wayne. Y'all think he's just a comedian. He's a director, a writer,
No, 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 no. We know that. Trust me. When it comes to Wayne, for sure, I know for sure that Wayne is a person who has been doing many things. Uh, the people who don't know Country Wayne are the people who just watching like the skits. If you've been watching Wayne from Wayne was doing those little tiny skits, because I've seen Wayne from like I was in Jamaica, which is a while because that was probably like 10 years ago essentially. So in other words, Wayne has been doing it like by himself, where he was doing those funny little skits, and I felt like, is that where like entertainment was going? Is that where YouTube was going? I remember just watching those and feel like, this was kind of interesting. In fact, I saw him on Facebook as a matter of fact as well. And I was like, this dude is just always working his thing. To know just seeing the skits, which is quite remarkable. So no, no, trust me, I rock with what she's saying.
producer. He has so many talents and he has the vision and he's so relatable. He reaches the people because we're just telling the truth. People are like, oh, how can you say Jesus is popping and you're talking about God, but these stories aren't a reflection of a godly life? I'm like, this is a mirror.
All right. So two things. She is correct that that the stories are reflective of what exactly takes place in real life. And I think that sometimes people don't quite understand that real life has heartbreaks and it have pain and it have sorrow and it have joy and it have happiness and it have suspicion and it have anger. It has all of the various pieces of the puzzle that you can actually think of. So she is correct in that. What people are really just complaining about when they talk about the skits and the whole idea of Jesus is not popping, Jesus is popping and Jesus is not popping. People want to watch things in a certain fairy tale kind of mode, and because that's what they've been used to. What Country Wayne is trying to do is trying to change the status quo of that, and nothing is wrong with that. Sometimes you've got to be what you call it now. You need to be a trendsetter. Sometimes you're gonna have to do that. Sometimes you're gonna have to start a new trend. Sometimes you're gonna have to, start something new. And I think that's what he's actually doing. I think he's succeeding in doing that. I understand. Trust me. So many times we understand. I just play jokes on the Jesus is popping line because it's just too easy. It's one of those easy jokes that you can pretty much get. So I guess that's my take when it comes to the Jesus is popping thing.
We're just playing humans and we're letting the world see themselves in a different light. That's why people be so mad. They probably mad at, it's a
They can
relatable
see
story.
themselves in some
Yeah,
of these
you had a friend
characters.
that betrayed you.
Yeah.
You had a man that had a baby on you.
Right?
Right? Nobody wants.
That is true. Let me just say that. That is true. And I kept saying that there are a lot of Shaylas in the world. Right? And people say, oh no, well, what I mean, I can't believe. And I'm like, yeah, you do got women like a Shayla's. You do have women like a Lauren. You do have women like an Amber. What I mean, who take a little while and them slow. You do have a man like probably an Anthony. You do have people like, now they're introducing Daniel and Ben and, I mean, and a Rafi and a Mike. Them slower than usual, and I think they write that deliberately that way. But you do have these characters. You do. As in, you do have these in terms of real life representation of those.
Talk about that
Right.
though, because we only post good things online, right? They ain't telling the truth.
Right.
So I don't know. It's been incredible, but it took me some time just to make peace with being a public figure because I didn't expect it in this way. I thought it would be something I could control. And when I just released control, trusted Wayne, the characters, the storyline, everything worked out for me.
So do you feel like
Yeah, hold on. That's a good thing. Jeez, when it comes to fame, you can't really. There's nothing you can do about it. When fame comes for you, that's about it. You are just going to have to just take it for what it is, because that's just how fame works. And I like that though, because that is the godly thing I feel like to do, which is where you start kind of like trusting in yourself and trusting in things. And I'm happy to see that she actually trusted it, because I do feel like she does play she plays her role well. A lot of people criticize the role, and I said, okay. O'Neill is not a fan of the Shayla character. I'm not. But that's why I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Shayla character, because the character is being played so well. It is portraying exactly what it is so well. Deceptive, devious, you know what I mean? And being tricked by someone like this. And I think maybe my interaction to the Shayla character is because I've seen people who have been deceptive before. I'm certain that any of y'all out there watching this right now, y'all probably have seen people who have been deceptive and who have not been the best, and just honesty is just not there for them. I'm certain y'all have pretty much gone through that.
because I feel like what a lot of people don't know about you is you're more like laid back, reserved. You don't really do too much talking and stuff like that. Unless you
Right.
like with your people, the people that you feel comfortable
Absolutely.
with. So
Then I'm yapping.
So then how does it like go from that to you're seen on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, when people meet you, they're like, oh, that's Shayla. People know who you are.
Yeah.
Has that changed any of your friendships or relationships with your family?
It's so funny. My friends and family didn't believe me at first. I was telling them like, "Hey, I'm famous," like, and they laughed just like that. They thought,
Yeah, I realize that. I mean, it seems like that. Usually when fame comes at your door, people generally don't believe it because they think that you're like kidding, or they think that you're just like fibbing, or it's just something else. But I don't know. Maybe it's something with the culture in itself. Where I mean, maybe it's because the U.S. has seen so many stars. Why people do that? Maybe you know what I mean. As well as fame means a lot of different things to a lot of people here, because you like have so much different levels of like celebrity status here in the US. Like it could be like a C class celebrity, or like a B class celebrity, or an A class celebrity where you're in the top movies. You could be a B class where you're not in the top movies but people kind of know you. You know what I mean? Or it could be like a C class where you're doing something different. So it could be that. Where you're pretty much famous on like a bunch of skits for whatever it is, and you'd be something like that basically. Let's see, more like I guess a B to C celebrity, if you understand what I mean. I mean, in other words, what I'm saying is that there are different levels that people can know you at. Like some people would know Shayla, some wouldn't, but she's still a celebrity in her own right.
funny, and it was cute. I remember my little brother graduated high school, and so I went back to Kentucky and I went to his graduation. And when we were outside, people were taking pictures with me, and then just sending it to the group chat. More people started coming, and my family could see, like, wow. I mean, just open Facebook, TikTok, YouTube,
right
you see
there.
them numbers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
he posted the other day like 750
57 million
in 28
views.
days.
You hear that? That's how much he's doing. That's how much numbers he's doing. I didn't know that Shayla was from Kentucky. That's interesting. That's like a whole, wow, that's like a throw off. I would have thought she came from Atlanta, or probably like from like one of those bigger cities. Or even from like a Philadelphia, or I don't know why she just doesn't give me Kentucky. That's very interesting. I find that to be extremely interesting. Not that I'm saying anything wrong with Kentucky people, but I mean, Kentucky is not like, Kentucky is like mid the United States of America. If I'm correct, I mean, Kentucky is like in the mid of things. I didn't expect to hear that.
That's insane.
So-
That's crazy.
It's so crazy.
Well, interesting. Well, friends, I have been reacting to this particular Shayla interview. I wanted to hear from her and to see exactly how it all started, as far as her journey is concerned. It seemed like she's kind of been trusting the Wayne process a lot, which is pretty good. She spoke in the front about her dating one of the other characters, and to what I get to understand, she's not dating. So by the way, if y'all are looking to see exactly if y'all want to get into, the real life taco meat for Shayla, if you're interested in get men, I mean, because it's men. If you're really interested in getting some real life taco meat from Shayla, I think it's available. I think you're able to put your applications in. Not sure if you're going to get through, but I'm just saying you can put your applications in to see how that works out. Friends, that's all I have for today. I'm gonna jump into another one when after this, so just look out for the other video after this. But do you like what you're hearing so far? I mean, you think she kind of still fake? You think she kind of real? What do y'all think? Give me a take. I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Later.